Vito Calisi, Jonathan Barron, Meet at the Apple. We're here with Juan Soto. Juan, I want to take you back real quick. 2021. You post a picture on your Instagram at Citi Field talking about your future. If we look back there talking about now, could you ever see this day coming?
If we go back to that day, never think about it. I literally wasn't thinking about any of that, but definitely, I don't know. It was something that just came out of me. I was really happy because I play really good baseball in this stadium, so that's why I posted.
Now I'm going to take you back, not as far. Sunday night, December 8th, a huge night, Mets Nation. We all saw the celebration, the video. You were in a hot tub celebrating the news, the contract. What happened that night? What were you doing? Who were you with?
I was with my family, definitely. We finished on stuff, but definitely we made the decision already, so we're just waiting for us to make it official. So we were just having a good time. We were just waiting for that moment to have everything settled and ready to rock and roll.
Now, in your press conference, you talked about being able to play with the best leadoff hitter in baseball, Francisco Lindor. What's your relationship with like? We saw that mic'd up video, the Frankie tapping on his head. Are you guys friends? Are you looking forward to playing together?
You know, he's a great dude. He's a great dude. I never get the chance to literally had much time with him. I met him a couple times in Puerto Rico. We had some sherry stuff down there, but as he seems a great player. He seems like a guy who's wanna win, and can't wait to meet him and see and share some tongues and what we can do next year.
In the press conference, you talked about the Cohen family and the way that they made you feel like a part of this family. What did they do that separated themselves from all the other teams that were interested in you during that process?
I feel like they did a really good job showing me how much they want me and how much they want me to make part of this team and organization, and that's one of the things that I was like thinking and looking forward to get. You know, at the end of the day, I didn't make my decision right there. Actually, sit down with my family and look forward to what we can do and what is going to be the best options, and we make our decision.
We're looking forward to 15 years, seeing you in the hallways, seeing you on the field. And this was just a quick conversation. We're already planning things to do with Juan as the year goes on. And fans, get excited. Juan Soto is a New York Met.
Yeah.
It's time for Doggy Daycare. Our friend Christopher Mad Dog Russo excited about the Belichick hiring in UNC, among other things. Also excited to visit with us about the $765 million deal for Juan Soto. Doggy, good morning. We have not spoken to you since this hit the news cycle. Amazing that he picked the Mets because they gave his family better parking spots. Incredible. Had nothing to do with the 765.
Yeah, or the suite. Don't forget at Citi Field, the Yankees make you pay for it. The Mets don't. You know, I'm a little surprised. How nice to be with you. I'm a little surprised, Matty, that he left the Yankees. I know he didn't have the homegrown feel as Judge did a couple years ago, so maybe he didn't have the tie with the franchise that sort of Aaron did, but I'm still surprised. The Yankees are, listen, I know the Met fan don't want to hear this, and good for Steve Cohen with the money, but, I mean, you can't compare any of the brand with the Yankees. He's got Judge hitting behind him, the ballpark, right field, the bleachers. The American League is much easier than the National League. Mets got the Dodgers, the Braves, the Phillies. Don't tell me that the Mets have a better future than the Yankees do. I don't buy that. That's a bunch of nonsense. I mean, that Hal's not going to spend money? He brought in Fried. Yankees have better pitching. I'm actually a little surprised. Now, listen, maybe he wanted to stay free agency, be romanced, you know, but listen, I'm not going to sit there. He's a great hitter. Now, he's a terrible right fielder. He's not a good base runner, but he's Ted Williams at the plate. So he's got 15 years and he'll be good, but he's going to be a DH in 5 or 6 years. But I'm overly a little surprised that he left New York, the Yanks.
Let me flip this a little bit. Now you're the owner. You're Steve Cohen. You grew up in New York. It's Yankees, Yankees, Yankees. At one point, dog, you know this, the Mets dominated in the 80s.
They sure did.
It was New York was the Mets town. With one signing, he's put them on the headline. He's turned this whole conversation upside down. That's why he goes there. Yeah, you like that? Do you agree with that?
Certainly, somewhat. I went to go look as far as fan base is concerned. In 23, Both franchises coming off big years. Judge hit 62 homers the year before, and Mets won 101 games. So a year and a half ago, they both were bad. Mets won 75 games. The Yankees were 82 and 80. Both were bad. Not factors the second half, the last 2 months of the season. The Yankees drew 3.2 million, and the Mets drew 2.5 million. So it's still a Yankee town, and the Yankees are a global team.
But did you have anybody to go watch play with the Mets?
Well, you had Lindor, didn't you?
Yeah, but Lindor wasn't hitting.
He's not Judge.
Homers.
He's not Judge. I grant you that. He's not Judge. Listen, I'm just a little surprised that he left the Yankees. I mean, and you're right, Harold, 100%. Between 84, the only time it's ever happened, and I've been here my whole life, between 84 and 89, this was a Met town. 84, they had Gooden and Strawberry. 85, they lost to St. Louis late. 86, they won it. 87, they were in a pennant race. 88, they lost to L.A. in the NLCS. And the Yankees were not great. And they were sick of Steinbrenner and everything else. That 5-year period, this was a Mets town in New York. Outside of that, for 62 years, it hasn't been. And I'm a little surprised that Soto left that environment to come for the Mets. And remember, the Met pitching staff is not that great. Last year they did they did mirrors with obviously Minaya and Severino and Quintana. This year they're going to try to do the same thing with Holmes, with Montas. Let me see them pull that off again. That's not going to be that easy. So overall, I'm just a little surprised. Remember one other thing. He doesn't want anybody to know this. I live where he works. You know how many people have told me that have worked with Steve Cohen for 40 years saying that he grew up a huge Yankee fan? He hated the Mets forever. He was a Yankee fan growing up. And now he turns around and hurts the Yankees by taking Soto away. Listen, he'd be great. He's a tremendous hitter. I just still think this is more a Yankee town when they win than a Met town.
All right, so let me get to the big headline of it all, though. A record for sports at 765. When you heard that number, what was your thought? Especially being the record for any athlete.
You know, Harold, first off, he knew it was going to happen anyway. The agent's too good. Who cares? You think the guy walking down the street cares that somehow, some way? Nobody cared about Garnett. Everybody made a big deal about A-Rod for a minute or two when he got signed at 252. In the big picture, the fans are so inundated with prices and money and what everybody makes in all the sports. I don't think anybody is that wrapped up in it after the initial shock. Wow, he got 765. All right, he got 765. Is anybody that surprised? I'm not that surprised. I mean, do I think it's a good contract from a baseball perspective? Probably not. Do I think the owners and the Pirates and the Reds in Minnesota calling Manfred and moaning and groaning, Rob, really? He signed a $765 million. How are we supposed to compete? Yeah, probably. I think they probably did, those owners. But in the big picture, you think the fan really cares? That somehow, we know all about the money. This has been going on for 30 years now. All right, he made 765. Let's move on. Yawn. Get ready for Christmas. Watch the college football playoff. Watch the NFL playoffs. And once the baseball starts, we'll be into it. And we realize now when we go to Shea City Field, to get tickets and to park the car and have a lemonade and a hot dog, it's going to cost $800 for a ball game in September or in August on a Saturday afternoon. We'll live with it. We'll live with it. That's what it is. The price of the price.
Look, history.
Did I wake you up?
History is littered with these things, right? Because Sunday is the 44-year anniversary of Dave Winfield becoming the highest-paid player in Major League Baseball history.
Wow, good job.
10 years, $15 million. 44 years ago Sunday. And here we are with Soto at 765. Wow. So now that the biggest bat is off the board, Doggy, let's get to the biggest arm. Max Fried signs with the Yankees. I think everybody knows that that's a really nice fit and a good signing for New York. What about Corbin Burns? If you were to identify one team that needs him the most, it would be which team?
Well, I had Danny O'Dowd, our pal, on radio the other day, Matt, and he thought the Giants. Went to St. Mary's. Giants need to replace Blake Snell. It's a good 1-2 punch with, obviously, Webb. Ballpark's good to pitch in. I know the Blue Jays need a pitcher, too, and I guess they're in. But I would say the Giants for Burns. I know it's funny. Think of these two franchises right now, Toronto and Houston. Toronto's got to worry about Guerrero and Bichette. Nobody wants to take their money. And Houston, Bregman's not going to stay there. And obviously now they want to trade Tucker. These two franchises, because they don't want to pay him after next year, these two franchises are sort of teetering of what they want to do. Big markets, they win a lot. But, you know, the Blue Jays are a mess. I mean, again, nobody wants to take any of their money. And obviously Houston, you know, Crane doesn't want to pay these $500 million contracts, and a guy like Tucker might get that. Those two franchises we got to keep an eye on here in the next couple of months. But in the big, and we'll see if Toronto does sign Burns. But I think at the end of the day, he'll probably sign with the Giants.
I like that idea. Yeah, you could make a case for a lot of teams. Giants might be the team with the biggest need. Reunite him with Willie Adames, a couple of Brewers expats on the West Coast.
Good point.
Doggy,
yeah, good
we
point.
Appreciate you every Friday, man. Christopher Mad Dog Russo with us every Friday on the stove. Have a great weekend, bud. Best of luck with your bets.
You got it. Rams last night was a big help. Good job. Well done.
12-6. What a turd of a game that was. Enjoy that one.
Thanks, Doggy.
Yikes. We're going to take a break. When we come back.
It was 3-0 for the longest.
I kept looking at my phone going, yeah, no need to watch this.
歴史の新たな1ページが今ここで描かれました。フアン・ソト選手がニューヨーク・メッツに移籍したことで、ニューヨークの野球界、いや、MLB 全体における波紋が広がっています。契約総額7億6500万ドルという史上最大の契約は、単なる数字ではありません。それは、新しい時代の幕開けを告げるシンボルであり、チームやファンに新たな希望と期待をもたらすものです。ヤンキースファンにとっては、フアン・ソトの決断が驚きであると同時に少しの痛みを伴うニュースであったかもしれません。ニューヨーク・ヤンキースという球団は、長年にわたりブランド力と歴史の象徴でした。その伝統的な価値観の中で、ソト選手が新たな道を選んだことは、多くの人々にとって衝撃的な出来事でした。しかし、これこそがスポーツ、特に野球の魅力です。選手たちが自らのキャリアを新たな挑戦に捧げ、未知の未来を切り開いていく姿は、見る者の心を揺さぶります。一方で、ニューヨークメッツのオーナーであるスティーブ・コーエン氏が、このような大胆な決断を下したことは、球団全体にとって画期的な出来事です。彼のビジョンとリーダーシップは、メッツの未来に新たな可能性をもたらしました。コーエン氏自身がかつてヤンキースファンだったという背景を持ちながらも、ニューヨークの野球界全体を活性化させるために尽力しているその姿勢には、敬意を表さずにはいられません。フアン・ソトという選手が加わったことで、メッツは新しい時代を迎えました。ソト選手のバッティング技術は言うまでもなく一流で、彼がラインナップに加わることで、メッツの攻撃力は大きく向上することでしょう。彼の存在感は、相手チームにとって大きなプレッシャーとなり、メッツの試合は、これまで以上にエキサイティングなものになることが予想されます。しかし、彼一人の力だけではありません。野球は個人の力ではなく、チーム全体の団結力と戦略が勝敗を分けるスポーツです。メッツが本当の意味で成功をつかむためには、選手一人一人がチームメイトと信頼を築き、共通の目標に向かって努力することが不可欠です。ニューヨークという舞台で繰り広げられるヤンキースとメッツの熾烈な競争は、ファンにとっても大きな見どころです。特に、ヤンキースファンとメッツファンの間で繰り広げられる議論は、シーズンをさらに盛り上げる要素となっています。フアン・ソトが加わったことで、ニューヨークの野球界は再び注目の的となり、その未来はこれまで以上に明るいものとなるでしょう。このようなドラマチックな展開の中で、私たちファンが果たす役割も重要です。選手たちの努力と才能が輝く瞬間を目撃し、その感動を共有することで、野球というスポーツはさらに豊かになります。私たちは、ただ試合を観戦するだけでなく、応援することでチームの一部となり、彼らと共に勝利の 喜びを分かち合うことができるのです。さらに、このような記念すべき瞬間を逃さないためにも、このチャンネルをぜひ登録してください。最新の試合情報、選手たちのインタビュー、分析などを通じて、野球の魅力を存分に楽しむことができます。コメント欄であなたの意見や感想を共有していただければ、このコミュニティはさらに活気づくでしょう。ニューヨークの空の下、新たなヒーローたちが生まれる瞬間を共に目撃しましょう。フアン・ソト選手がメッツでどのような活躍を見せるのか、そしてヤンキースとの熾烈な戦いがどのように展開するのか、これからのシーズンは見逃せません。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。そしてニューヨークの野球の未来を一緒に応援していきましょう。